Hey, what's up? Today I'm gonna be reviewing the new movie Equalizer 2. This movie is directed by Antoine Fuqua. This man did a lot of great movies in his time, so yeah, shout out to him. It's starring Denzel Washington. He's back as Agent Robert McCall, a retired agent, I should say. It also has Melissa Leo in there as Susan Plummer. She was also in Equalizer 1, if y'all remember her. It has this young man, Ashton Sanders, in there as Miles. He gives a pretty good performance, does his best. I actually appreciated the work he did. It also stars Pedro Pascal as Dave York, the basic evil villain bad guy, best friend who backstabs everybody type of character, basic generic shit. So the story of this movie is that our retired secret agent who's supposed to be dead, but he's not. He's working at a Home Depot. Oh yeah, excuse me. He's working as a Lyft driver. That was in part one. He was in Home Depot. This is part two. So in part two, now he's a Lyft driver during the day. And at nighttime, he does what any old ex-retiree does, goes on secret missions and stabs people in the neck and chest area, and also shoots them, also burns them, and he also blows them up. I don't know if all that counts as blowing up and burning is the same thing. But yeah, he does a lot of horrible, violent shit to people, to bad people, kidnappers, murderers, rapists, pretty much anybody that he deems done something wrong somehow, he'll find you and he'll kill you. That's pretty much his thing. I don't know how he gets away with it in broad daylight. It got some aspects of Death Wish in there with Bruce Willis. All the daylight killing. I don't know how these people get away with it, but yeah, bodies everywhere, blood, gunshots. Nobody hears nothing. Everybody just keeps going about their business, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, so he's doing his thing. He gets in contact with Secret Agent Plummer, who is off doing some spy shit in some other country. I think Brussels it was. And while she's out there doing some spy shit, because I think she works for the CIA, she gets killed doing some spy shit. Well, that upsets our secret agent, retired Robert McCall. He dives back into duty, finds out what happened, finds out some of the guys that were on his former team actually turned on him, turned on Agent Plummer, killed her, tried to cover up some loose tracks. A basic sort of story. Now, I give Denzel Washington his props. Oh yeah, at the end, Denzel goes, finds him, kills them all, blah, blah, blah. He actually doesn't die in this movie, which is a relief, but it's pretty predictable. Once you're watching it, you pretty much can see what is going to happen 30 minutes into the movie. But I give props to Denzel for actually doing a sequel because he never done one, but not for this one because this was a waste of time. It's one of those movies where it's not bad what you're watching because the actors and actresses are actually putting effort into what they're doing. And I really hate to really rag on Antoine Fuqua because I don't know who wrote this script, but this is a basic ass movie. This is not worth you getting in your car, driving through traffic, paying all that money for those tickets, paying all that money for the concessions, and then sitting there for an hour and a half for this. It's not. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, they do have some cool violent shit in there, some cool action scenes. It's not really nothing over the top, not nothing that's gonna amaze you. You know what I mean? So as far as this movie, the only thing I could say that you'll really get out of it is if you're a really big Denzel Washington fan and you just want to go see whatever he does, then you'll be perfectly fine with this movie. You won't be disappointed. It'll be a good night out for you. But if you are somebody who's looking for something that's a little bit less 80s as far as script and like action and just thoughtfulness put into a story, then you're not going to like this. This movie feels like I was back in the Family House days when everything was just pretty much, Family House rated R, because everything was just safe. It was a safe story, basic story, nothing over the top, just a basic generic ass movie. And that's exactly what this is. I'm a Denzel fan. I like Denzel. I think he's a perfectly fine actor. I think he picks the worst roles to pick out of any actor I've ever seen. I mean, if he was going to do any sequel, I would have did a Training Day sequel if I was him. Maybe if he faked his death at the end and, something like that, they could have worked out a story there, or even possibly a prequel to Training Day. If he just had to do a sequel sometime in his life, because he's never done a sequel to any movie. This was his first one. I just think that he picked the worst movie of all his movies to do one on. I don't know, these last few movies, besides Fences, his last movies choices to me have been just subpar, and I think he's really letting stuff go to waste where he could have reached out and got into the MCU. He could have got into the DCEU somehow. Lawrence Fishburne don't have a problem getting in there, and I really think he could have just stepped outside of the box and stopped doing all these safe ass generic movies and just do something completely different, Denzel, because I want to be your fan. I want to recommend people go see your movies, but you got to make better movies than this. Anyway, y'all, that's just my thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And I'll catch your ass out there in this universe. Peace.
The only disappointment is that I only get to do it once.
Die from last y'all, die from last y'all, die from last y'all.
Seeing you carrying all those books around, I figured you for some kind of teacher.
I'm a high-level paid government assassin.
It's go time.